Hi, I'm Kiara, and this is,
Matt.
and this is, and today we are doing um, 30 Days in the Garden, or yeah, 30 Days of Adaptive Action. Um, what is a garden? And yeah, okay, your turn. I don't remember. Okay, I don't remember what's next.
And today, what the thing is, the the thing is, the question is, what are the values in the garden?
And we use adaptive action for answering it. What, so what, and now what?
And how about we get started?
How about it?
Wow.
Welcome to Creating a Future We Want. This is how we do it. We figure it out as we go. I love it. I'm Matt Keene. Thanks for joining us. As they were just saying, the question that we are bringing into the garden, into our nighttime edition, is because the sun's going down earlier. That's what happens. Is what values do we find in the garden? That's, Cora has been thinking about this a good bit today already. So I was gonna ask Cora if we could start with you. Um, and Cora has actually done some drawings for us, and I'm gonna hold it up and show it, and then ask you, Cora, if you could describe. You've done the drawings of the values we find in the garden. Okay. So, could you describe to us some of what we're seeing here?
So, here in this picture, there's an eggplant, tomato plant, butterfly, dragonfly, the grass, waving, wind, sun, and a bird. This represents life in the garden. And then on the other page, like right here, someone holding an eggplant. It represents food from the garden. So, yeah.
Cora, thank you. I hope you don't injure yourself right here at the end of the day. It's always a nice way to finish the day with a howling injury. We've had our fair share of those. Cora, could you tell? That's beautiful. Thank you for these drawings. What are some of? Now, could you describe? Are those the values that you drew? Yeah. Could you name some of those again for us? Just.
Food and life. Food and life, and if I can think of something else.
Here you go. You can look at your picture. You did this. Yeah.
And the wind and sun.
The wind and the sun. Okay, beautiful, beautiful.
Water.
Yeah.
Water. Now, Kiara, I'd ask you, what are some values that we find in the garden?
Values. Well, some values of the garden, like the garden, their values, I think, would be, yeah, like the sun and the rain provides their, like, so that they stay alive. They need sun and water, and like nutrition, things like that.
Could I follow that up with what are some of your values that you bring to the garden?
Well, love. We love the plants, we love family, and happiness. Happy in the garden, happy to see things grow and thrive. And, I don't know.
I wanted to I see something what you were doing there, Cora, as you were looking in the collard over there. You know, one of the values that I bring into the garden that I think both of you do too, when I see you poking around in the collards, is curiosity. wondering what in the world is going on there. How did that frog get away from you earlier today? That was a mystery.
He was frustrated. Wait, what's behind my head?
It was frustrating.
Oh, it's
Yes.
a collar. It's so tall. Look, over here, look. Look.
Yeah, we
See
heard
it.
you.
Can I wanted to ask. They said adaptive action is a series of or sequence, sort of a recursive sequence of three questions. What, so what, and now what? I wanted to ask you, Cora, getting a little punchy, I think, about this sequence. You mentioned quite a few values. Well, both of you did. Some that are part of the garden, some that are a part of the garden, like the specific life in the garden, like the collards. You mentioned also some that are part of the garden that exist independent of the garden, like the sun, rain. These things are around whether this garden is here or not.
Wind.
Wind, exactly. But then this frog, the life in the garden, the food that it provides us. I wondered, like, which values were first? Like, is there an order? Like, a sequence? I'll preface this a little bit with we've recently had some conversations about humans, different species of humans, and about how long ago was the first fire used, controlled by a species of human?
A million?
About 1 million years ago. And do you recall about how long ago Homo sapien was present on Earth?
Mm,
Yeah, maybe 250,000 years ago, 300,000 years ago, something like that. So here's a deal, right? Which values were first that are related? So what values were first? If we're going to sequence out these values, which came first, which came second, which came third, and now we're sitting in a garden full of them.
well, first, I guess would be like food, and then water, and then sunlight, and then family, maybe, or yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Cora, the sequence, the order of values, which values do you think were some of the first? Like, before there was ever a garden, were any of those around before there was a garden?
Yes, water was.
Water.
Rain.
Okay.
Probably wild berries.
Wild berries, yep.
All the meat, cows and pigs and whatever they ate back then. Buffalo.
We haven't seen a buffalo in the garden yet this year, but the year's not over. So I'm curious then, what would be some of the more recent values? Like, if we have an order of when there was no life on Earth, there was no humans, but then there were no gardens, and then there were gardens. What are some more recent values that are a part of this garden that came to be more recently? Cora first. Do you have a thought on that? Like, what's a very recent value in this garden here?
The baby plants.
The baby plants, the plants in this garden. How about you? And you can look at your picture for ideas too.
Let's see. Maybe like neatness or precision,
Yes.
sort of, where the beds are.
So what would cause that to become a value of a garden?
Well, we want it to be neat and precise so that like we can walk through, not walk through all the plants and get jumbled up. And yeah.
Yep, yep. Okay, let's see how we doing. Okay, we're nearing the end of this nighttime version here. I've got other questions I want to ask about how values change, or do they need to change. Let's get into that in a second edition of this. For now, we'll move into the third question of our adaptive action cycle, and we've done a little bit of this already, but I'm curious, now what could we do to honor a particular value of the garden in your drawing, Cora? What could we do next to honor any one of those values? Just pick one of them, and what could we do to honor it?
The life
Mm-hmm.
to provide food for the plants, like to give them compost.
Okay, to give them compost. Yep. We'd honor the well-being of that value of life of the garden. How about you, Kiara?
Well, like we honor the values, the life of the plants by not stepping on the little plants or the big plants. And yeah, by giving it food and water and yeah, keeping it alive, keeping it healthy and safe.
What's one of your values that you mentioned you bring to the garden?
Love.
Hmm. Now, what could the garden do to honor that?
Um, well, we love the plants. The plants love us because we take care of it, take care of them.
Hmm. How do the plants show their love for us?
Giving
But-
us food.
Yes.
Yeah, is that what you're going to say? Yep. Yep. I'm Matt Keene. Thanks for visiting Creating a Future We Want. This is the Our Learning series. The project we're in right now is called What is a Garden? 30 Days of Adaptive Action. We'll see you soon talking more about our values. Good night.